welcome to Editing with My Wife, now with one last plan. Cheesy Loops. I'm the Hooded Philosopher, and I'm here with Cheesy Loops. That's why I said her name. Cheesy Loops, what's this podcast about?
It's a podcast where we talk about how you actually kill a pan-cultural, ultra-dimensional communication apparatus.
She did that without looking at the paper. That's impressive. And some big words.
Well, I wrote it down so I can remember it better. I didn't necessarily write it down so I can read it. All right. We're in recap mode. Did?
Yes, I need to go to the recap. Recap!
Right. Go to the recap.
In Clones, Otto and Hannah were having some fun playing with his rings and seeing the different perspectives until they came upon the blue one, where Hannah was sent to help someone, looking very much like an angel. Then they grow the twins, Renner and Izzi, to go fight, or go step into the trap that Zig set up. Then they get stuck in the trap. Well, Izzi gets stuck in the trap and Renner gets cut in half or something. And after a lot of torture, a lot of misery, Izzi gets the information they need to figure out what to do next.
And it's infrasploded, remember?
He infrasploded, that's right.
He infrasploded. In chapter 22, it's not drugs. Katy shares with Renner and then everybody else that she is now somehow in the timeline pregnant, which we discussed at length yesterday, that timeline.
Mm-hmm. Well, it comes up. Remember? We read it today. It came up.
It came.
Zig says something different going
on. They talk to the siblings. Otto decides at this point that he needs to have a serious talk with Renner and explain some things himself. And I feel like it's
his brother might die. He saw his brother die.
Or he might. Or...
And he is gay and has been Renner's whole life. And if there are times in my life when I am me and others push it away or I don't express it and it hurts me. And that when I express it, it's gone. And that's what Otto was trying to do. He didn't want to keep his brother in the dark, but his brother also didn't really care. It's not, and he cared about his brother. He didn't care that his brother was gay.
Yeah.
And I think it shows. I think he just respectfully hears it, and then they move on, just so he can get it off his chest. And then in this next chapter, you're going to see his confidence come out without the mushroom. Unless he had the mushroom beforehand. It said nothing, but I'm the writer, and I said he didn't. So, get over it.
And they enjoy their last day.
It's not a day, though. I was wrong.
I know you were wrong.
It's like the last months. Months go by.
Months go by. Chapter 22, moths go by.
Moths. It's the moths. Check out for the story when the moths come in.
The moths go by?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Moths go by.
Yeah, go bye-bye. Man, I really messed that up. Alright. We're going to discuss what happened within the months that go by of this chapter. Well, not discuss it. I'm going to read it.
We're going to discuss when the moths go by?
Moths.
Hooded.
What?
I made a dagger.
She made a dagger out of clay. A golden dagger, too. Out of golden clay.
It's really just light brown clay with a little bit of shim.
So, the last thing that happened was that Katy came in with the pregnancy news.
No. It's not the last thing that happened.
Well, that's what they're referring to right now.
Katy came in and took advantage of the fact that her husband...
Well, eventually they'll come into it. I just wanted to clarify that a part of what's happening here is Katy's pregnant, and that you would know if you had listened to this recently, but if you had slipped your mind, that's what they're going to discuss here in a second.
Right.
In a way.
But
in a way.
The last chapter ended with Katy saying, I'm going to take advantage of the situation. My husband's laughing at everything, and he's not going to take everything so seriously, so I can have a serious talk with him, and he'll just laugh it off. Yeah.
So we go back, and right now this is Hannah and Izzi. Do you want to talk about it? Hannah asked Izzi while they were resting and snacking before bed. Izzi looked back at her confused. The past 3 days, Hannah clarified. Izzi looked down. Not in particular. It was pretty bad, but I knew what we were doing it for, now more so than ever, Izzi said, referring to the news that they had just received. Hannah had tears forming in her eye. You shouted and screamed while you were in the plant. Like, what was happening to you in there was actually happening to you. It was hard for me not to rip you out of there, she said, holding back tears now. I could feel your fear in there, your worry that this wasn't a clone, that it was it. The loss you felt when Renner was ripped away from you, the hours of suffering you spent struggling to breathe. It was all so real, yet through it all you stayed alive, aware and focused. Hannah put her hands on her face. How do you do that? But none of it happened, Izzi. None of it happened to Hannah, Izzi explained, putting her hand on her sister's shoulder. But it did. You felt it all, Hannah said. Aren't you angry? Don't you want him dead? Of course I do, but how do you kill something close to divinity? Izzi exploded in anger. He's something else, something stronger than human. Izzi was holding back tears now. We can't fight it. Zig will help us find something to... Hannah started. Izzi interrupted her. We can't fight him, Hannah. You can. Hannah stopped talking. You have to kill him. Hannah was speechless. You have no right to ask this of you, but for the sake of the Earths, you have to kill him. Hannah's face became sullen. Her profound sadness felt by the others. Otto was standing at the bottom of the way up to the canopy. It's true. We don't even want to ask this of you, he said, walking over to give her a hug. Zig was under his tree. He had a grave look on his face. We cannot hold back the portals much longer. Hannah stood up. Tomorrow we go on the offensive. She went to bed, sad, just like the rest of them. Renner and Katy awoke in a start because Katy wasn't well and Renner was starting his day in poor spirits. Katy ran down to the Zig tree, throwing up near its roots. It vanished off the ground, instantly taking any smell with it. Thanks, Zig. It seems making a baby is a volatile process. That was a mouthful. She said, getting up. Is there anything I can do for you? Zig offered. I'm craving potatoes. Zig smiled. Then come to the mountain, he invited. Renner came down. We can talk on the way. I'm sorry I've been distant this morning. I don't know what happened last night, but I'm sad because I have to kill someone, I think, he said, rubbing at his temples. On the way to the mountain, he talked to Katy, where they discovered what must have happened last night. When they got there, the door to the banquet hall stood open and inviting. Oh, I remember this room, Katy shouted excitedly, running ahead. By the time Renner even entered the room, Katy had a big plate of hash browns, with just the right amount of ketchup. He sat next to her and pressed the drink button, giving him a peppermint mocha. This is so cool, Renner muttered to himself after taking a sip. Why are you so attuned to the human experience? Katy asked Zig, who was sitting in his customary spot.
You gotta use mouse.
Sorry about that.
He waited a moment. Then after pressing his food button, he said, The Council of the Good is a sixth-dimensional organization. To understand the inner working requires a better... While he searched for the right word to say, the orb he called food was floating in front of him. He cracked open, sending a yellow mist that intermingled with the Zig mist before saying, Body? Regardless, we are constructed to accommodate the beings from this planet, for this very reason. Granted, it was our coming here that started it, but Earth is going to be in trouble either way. And good needs to stand near good. Needs to be near good. So used to your other line.
Yeah.
When something goes wrong. Does that explain it? Zig asked. To which Katy nodded, her mouth full. So we were right that for some reason everyone agreed Hannah had to kill someone while we were sleeping, Renner asked.
So are we right that for some reason everyone agreed that Hannah had to kill someone while we were sleeping? Renner asked. Zig nodded. What she has to do is worse than kill. How does one kill you? Renner asked, trying not to think too hard about what Zig would have to give up for them to have the information. One must overpower and break the will of the other, and then absorb all his different consciousnesses, or send them to an adequate third host. Infrazig was made out of many working together in harmony. Hannah has but one other, and they just recently met. Zig finished as the orb finally finished dissolving into a misty pool. I don't know what, into a mist. I guess there was no Y there. Sorry about that. Otto and Izzi walked into the mountain next. They looked tired. Zig smiled at them as Katy and Renner greeted them, and they moved to sit down to eat. Zig, how are we going to stop Infrazig from destroying our world? Otto asked. It seems he's been collecting a lot of people in one location in order to make a final move. You were up late last night staring into your rings, then, Renner commented, taking a sip of his mocha. Silence filled the room. An awkward silence filled the room. Tell me Hannah doesn't have to do it, Izzi pleaded, looking to Zig for an answer. She stood up. When Zig had no response, Izzi left the room, for her breakfast still steaming. They could all hear her crying as she left the mountain. Otto hadn't pushed a button yet. He was staring at Zig. Can we do it? He asked meekly. Zig spoke. Unless you can return him to me, I don't even know if Hannah can do it. One must hold him until he sees the error of his ways. Please do not misunderstand. I least of all wish for someone else to clean up my mess, but I was made to be a friend to nature. I cannot impose my will on it. All I can do is ask others to. He left it there. So many words could end the sentence, but he was hoping they all would. Otto walked out, not sure what to say next, or how to feel about any of it. Zig disappeared, leaving Renner with Katy, finishing off her second plate of hash browns. They're hash browns, not hash tans, Katy said, unsure of what else to add. Her smile infected Renner, fighting off the sadness of the morning. Renner's smile came back, melancholy abolished. Zig didn't leave Renner and Katy for no reason. He was at the front of the ship, looking with his misty alien eyes at Earth. The red was gone, leaving a clear view of Earth. Hannah walked up next to him. Tell me what to do to stop him, and I'll do what I can. No human seems to understand, except you. You are the last human and you are the last human I would call upon to do an act so difficult and dangerous. Your life has been pure and kind as long as I've known you. Hannah, you need to do something before you can fight him for Zig. You need to become fuller. You need to become closer to me. Hannah seemed unconcerned by his asking this, as if she expected it. Hannah, you must take on more than just Hannah. You must command Troon. He looked up at the geo. Troon was coming out of it. The nightmare glided down in front of the ship and landed next to Zig. Troon will allow for your connection to me, but your soul... Troon will allow for a connection to me, but your soul, as you call it, will no longer be tied to Earth, but instead to me. His grim tone confused her. You are Utopia. How am I supposed to be afraid of you? She smiled back at him. Troon was motionless as he could be, and silent. This could be it. We just need to get him to you? If he's up here on regular Zig, you can stop him? Hannah asked one last time. She took in a deep breath and motioned toward Troon. Renner shouted, "Wait!" It came from everywhere. "We have a plan. Can we discuss it before we do anything rash?" Izzi asked from everywhere. Otto spoke last, saying, "Come to the table of bounty."
Bum, bum, bum.
So they have a plan that we are not privy to until the next chapter. Or should I say the last chapter.
Alright, scrolly uppy. Any notes that I have to fix it? I don't think so. I don't think there's a whole lot in here.
Oh, this isn't Months Go By. That's the last chapter.
Ha ha. Hood doesn't know how to name his
Well, we read the last
chapter
chapter before we started today, so it was in my head, I guess.
Yes.
We're gonna have to figure out what to call it. Tell us in the comments what you think, and I don't know, see if it works. It probably will. People are geniuses, as I understand. I just wish they could do it.
Okay, so here's a funny thing. We cannot hold back the portals much longer.
Mm-hmm. Time is a big thing.
Yes.
A small amount of time could be infinite.
So that doesn't really matter?
Yeah. A little bit of time could be months. How much longer could be months.
Uh-huh.
But eventually it's going to collapse, you know? That's what he's trying to get across. Eventually this is all going to collapse, and we got to do something before it happens.
Okay. Trying to think of something to... Like, we can go through and edit every little thing, but...
I'm not finding much.
after she went to bed, just like the rest of them, should there be ... or stars? Because it's a separation of time.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Stars. Tay. On the way mountain, they discovered what must happen of last night. When they got the third over the Bengals, open inviting. Hash browns with ketchup. I want hash browns. Can you make me hash browns?
We have potatoes.
Potates.
It shouldn't be that hard. A little bit of butter.
We have ketchup?
Yeah. We even have Arby's sauce, and I think that would be better.
Ew, no, I want ketchup.
But I will make that after we finish.
Listen,
the podcast.
I have my peppermint mocha. Now I want hash browns.
That's funny because I wrote this years ago. And today, I had the peppermint mocha. But that's two different people, technically.
It is two different people, but you keep typing all the food I like. There was lasagna earlier. A lot earlier. And there was a lot more that could be done with that too. Beings from this planet. For this very reason is its own sentence. Is that intentional?
No, that was... Where is that? I saw that when I was going through it, and it bothered me. Where was it?
Right, you just hovered over it. Right there. There you go. And good needs to be near good when something goes wrong.
Yeah, I think that just needs to be capitalized. Because he's saying something very particular here. This is like quoting, honestly, for him. He's quoting something, and good needs to be near good.
So we are right that for some reason... Sorry, guys. So we're right that for some reason everyone agreed that Hannah had to kill someone while we were sleeping?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
She has to do his worst than kill. How does one kill you? Try not to think too hard. One must overpower and break the will of the other, then absorb all his different consciousnesses.
There's a line there.
Or send them to an adequate third host.
It's just... Katy asks the perfect question.
Who asked the perfect?
Why are you so attuned to the human experience?
Yes.
It's the second part, right?
What's the second part?
Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. It's in the next chapter. Gosh darn it. We should not have read the next chapter. This will all be in written form, too, for you to read on an app when it's done. But the book will be out on YouTube in audio form first, I think. And then with that, it'll have a link to the text that you should be able to go to for free.
Oh, I thought we were going to get that taken care of, like, soon. So then.
Yes, but there will be a link in the YouTube video.
Okay.
And maybe I'll post a post about it when it happens. You know, that way people can see it separate from the video. They don't have to go look at the video to see the link.
Okay, Otto and Izzi walked into the mountain next. They looked tired. Zig smiled at them as Katy and Renner greeted them. And they sat down to eat. You were up late last night staring into your rings then? Renner commented.
It's not in the next chapter, it's right here.
Yes, okay. So do you hear what I'm
Where were you at? Sorry, no.
So it said, Otto and Izzi walked into the mountains next. They looked tired. Zig smiled at them as Katy and Renner greeted them. And they sat down to eat. You were up late last night staring into your rings then, Renner commented, taking a sip of his mocha. Do you see why I switched it?
No, I didn't, but you reminded me.
Awkward.
The awkward silence filled the room. Because he said I mean, maybe I'm not making it clear enough, but he's making a joke about the pink ring to him, kind of subversively.
But I was thinking with the greeting of him and then Otto looking tired, I feel like Renner making a comment on it would be better fitting to Zig, how we're going to stop in for Zig. And I feel like Zig, how we're going to stop in for Zig, is a way Otto is going to distract everybody else from him looking at his rings. So I think you just need to switch those two lines around.
What line?
Okay.
I apologize. I should have paid attention. I'm sorry.
From
I didn't.
Zig, how are we going to stop in for Zig?
Yes.
To final move needs to be switched with the very next line.
Final move?
It seems he's been collecting.
So Renner starts with the rings? Yes. Oh, so you're saying after looking tired.
Yeah, basically.
And then he's kind of explaining why.
Wait.
What?
No.
Oh, I got the wrong Zig part,
yes.
sorry.
So that zig
Right.
is fine. Yes.
I
And
got
then
it.
just switch those two comments. Because then Otto can use that question as a way to not talk about
The pink ring.
the pink rings.
And he can kind of say, I wasn't looking at them, honestly. Although, he wouldn't. Because he was.
Right. So I feel like that fits better.
It's almost obsessive to some point. Like a dangerous kind of obsession. He's not doing a good thing, from my point of view, by staring into the pink rings. If he knew the person, it would be okay. And the person knew he was doing it, it would be okay. But nobody else can do it, and I don't know, it's a thing.
He's become a full stalker.
He can kind of do whatever he wants with the rings. I mean, no one's going to stop him. He wouldn't hurt anyone anyway.
And the blue ring actually helps somebody.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it'll happen and something will come up in the future.
But yeah, no, I think that's better. You were up late last night staring into your rings then, Renner commented, taking a sip of his mocha. The awkward silence filled the room.
Because they didn't come in to eat either. I don't know why Izzi conjured food.
Well, I think they were coming in with a semblance, like they were gonna...
Look at what they say.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I think they
maybe they wanted to, but they couldn't when they got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and Izzy's trying to be okay with things.
Yeah. Well, she's not, and she never will be after what she went through, I don't think.
Yeah. Zig, how are we going to stop Infrazig from destroying our world? Otto asked. It seems he has been collecting a lot of people in one location in order to make a final move. Tell me Anna doesn't have to do it, Izzy pleaded, looking to Zig for an answer. She stood up when Zig had no response. She stood up.
I'm sorry. I was reading something else.
Yeah, you should be focused on me.
Please don't
up,
listen to
up, up, up. Okay, left. She stood up when Zig had no response. Izzy left the room, her breakfast still steaming.
Why? When Zig didn't say anything.
Well, and then you say, when Zig had no response.
Oh. Well, then why am I saying it now?
I know. So just delete the period, put a comma, lowercase the W, and then comma after response. Or period.
Oh.
Okay. She stood up when Zig had no response. Izzy left the room, her breakfast still steaming. Yeah. Y'all can hear her crying as she left the mountain. Otto hadn't Otto hadn't pushed a button yet. He was staring at Zig. Can we do it?
Can we? Can we do it? Can we? Like actually questioning it. Can we?
Unless you can return him to me. I don't know if even Hannah can do it. One must hold him until he sees the error of his ways. Please do not misunderstand. I, least of all, wish for someone else to clean up my mess.
I don't have to decapitalize it.
I was made to be a friend to nature.
That's the line. I cannot impose my will on it. Those are the lines that dictate why Zig isn't just kind of controlling everything. Yeah. He is there to help. Period. Good must stand by good. That does not mean that the good person who's standing by has to take action. He can support, and that would be enough. And that's the idea here. But of course, Zig is not even wealthy. Isn't the right word. It's more like, how do you say it? Zig is
plentiful.
Plentiful, yeah. There's plenty of Zig. But he can't impose his will onto the earth. He can't like push his will onto it. Uh-huh. All he can do is hold back some things that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
That aren't natural. But he can't like go plant the tree himself, because that would be him imposing the will. The people of the planet have to go do it. It's not his planet. It's not his. He's not attached to that consciousness, so he's staying back. Yeah. Okay.
Zig disappeared, leaving Renner with Katy, finishing off her second place at hash browns. They're hash browns, not hash tan. Katy said, unsure what else to
commented.
Add. I know she's trying to lighten the mood here, but I mean, why would she say that particular thing?
She's being cute. And Renner likes that about her.
So she's just trying to say something.
She's just trying to fill the void and not let all the bad mood. Because she's not feeling what Renner's feeling.
Right.
But she knows what's happening and why Renner would feel that way. She can see it.
Because Hannah is feeling all this.
And since she isn't feeling that way, she can say goofy things and make him smile and kind of help Hannah through it by helping Renner.
Unsure what else to add. Her smile infected Renner, fighting off the sadness of the morning. Renner's smile came back, melancholy abolished. Those are big words that you have to say together.
Melancholy abolished. I feel like I took that from an author. Oh, yeah.
Are you plagiarizing?
No. He is speaking in an old language, and it sounds like melancholy abolished. It's melancholia. I forgot what it is. And it has absolutely nothing to do with sadness going away or anything. It's just an ancient spell that sounds like melancholy abolished.
Oh.
It was from the book The White Gold Ring by Stephen...
Are you talking about
Lord Fowl's Bane?
Lord Fowl's Bane.
Lord Fowl's Bane is the series.
Yeah.
Where you follow a dude who falls into another world. You know, my style. And, I mean, read the book. It's very real, very human.
Yeah.
It's the main character on Earth has leprosy.
Yeah.
And everyone is terrified of him because he has leprosy. People won't touch him. They won't go near him. They'll push him away. And when he goes to this other world, it's gone. He has no leprosy. He has power. And it's like really an intense book.
So
really sad sometimes.
Zig didn't leave Renner and Katy for no reason. He was at the front of the ship, looking with his misty alien eyes at Earth. The red was gone, leaving clear view of Earth. If they're on Zig's side and not Infrazig's side, was there ever red mist on Zig's side?
The red mist was on the screen doing the scan. I'm saying the scan is gone. He's just seeing Earth for what it is.
I see. That's not.
There was
clear.
never any kind of.
That's not clear. The red was gone, leaving a clear view of Earth. You can say with the scanning being
the red
finished,
scan, the scan.
The red of the scan.
I was going to do the scan that produced.
The scan that produced the red overlay was gone, leaving a clear view of Earth. Hannah walked up next to him. Tell me what to do to stop him.
And I'll do what I can.
No human seems to understand, except you. And you're the last human I would call on to do an act so difficult and dangerous. Your life has been pure and kind as long as I've known you. Hannah, you need to do something for me before you can fight Infrazig.
So he's just going to hand her another gun. A bigger gun, basically. But by taking that bigger gun, she is now no longer a child of Earth. She is a child of Zig.
Yes.
And that seems like a bad thing for Zig. Like this is a bad thing that has to happen to Hannah. This is like the gift again. He's got to give her another gift. Some other bad thing that's got to happen to this sweet angel. And her response is so perspicuous. Your utopia. Why would I ever be afraid? He's heaven. And he is thinking that she would be sad to not be connected to Earth anymore.
The problem is when he leaves, does she have to go with him?
Yes. Or, well, if she dies, the consciousness goes back to him and gets recycled. Not to Earth. So her consciousness, it's like the idea of I see the fortune cookie. The idea of what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. The fortune cookie stumbled. I stumbled. She made a fortune cookie out of the golden clay that she's playing with, and she showed it to me, and she wanted me to say something because she kept holding it up.
No, I just wanted you to see it. Just look at it. You try to take it. Anyway, you were saying that if she dies, her consciousness would go back to Zig.
And it looked really good. It was a really good fortune cookie, quite frankly.
No, it took a lot of work to get it. And then I broke it.
What were you saying?
I literally just told you.
I know, but I was distracted by the fortune cookie.
Okay, I'll stop showing you the things that I make. That if Hannah were to die, her consciousness would go back to Zig, not Earth.
Yeah.
Despite what you were saying on the.
Oh, that's what I was saying. There's this like idea of a soulmate or a satsang or someone who remains with you through time. Like, you loved each other in the past, then you both died, and now there's another moment of the same consciousness loving the same person, kind of like Hitchcock. No, which one was it?
Hancock.
Yeah, it's Hancock. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, where they were two angels crashing and reliving the same life over and over. And so with Hannah would not be able to do that. She's gone. Earth will not accept her if she does it. She can't go back and then be a part of that conscious thing that is recycling its consciousness with all the other people that she grew in love with.
But he had already said at one point that her consciousness was already not tied to Earth. She's no longer a factor in the Earth's divisions.
No, she is. I don't know where that would have come up.
That was earlier.
Like when she got the gift?
Oh, he was talking about recombining the Earths, but Hannah's no longer a problem. He did that. Yeah.
Yes. In other words, when the Earths recombine, she has enough to withstand any kind of combination of forces, even if the other one were to be dead.
Yeah.
The father is going to be dead
Yeah.
if they collide, which we haven't gotten there yet. So the father will die. That's what he was saying. But Hannah won't crush under those pressures because she has Hannah.
I see.
Which is a sentence that I said. Hannah has Hannah, and therefore she won't be crushed by recombination forces.
But now the idea is that she's going to have Hannah, and Troon.
Troon, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just that's not what she doesn't want that. Troon is too much. You know how she killed 6 people because of Hannah?
Mm.
Well, Hannah's kind.
Mm-hmm.
So this metal thing she got a bit of that. But Troon doesn't have that. That's why he's security in a lot of ways, because he'll just protect his people, the thing he cares about. That's his job. And he takes it very seriously. And so she would have to understand that he's okay to kill people. It's okay for him to kill people.
And he would have less of an issue, and he wouldn't.
He would fight it more. He's already learned from other people. Hannah hasn't. She's brand new.
Yeah.
But Troon's been around for a lot longer, and he's already learned all the things. And the people that have taught him when it's okay to kill. And it's like, it's right. He won't do it unless it's okay. So, but unlike Hannah, who now won't do it because Hannah doesn't want to do it. Yeah. And yeah. Anyway. Life has been so pure and kind as long as I've known you. Hannah, you need to do something before you can fight him for Zik. You need to become fuller, and you need to become closer to me. You are Utopia. How am I supposed to be afraid of you?
Troon was motionless as he could be and silent.
We just need to get him to you. So she's going to go take Troon. She's motioning toward him in the end to go take Troon to stop him for Zik.
I feel like
probably without her siblings too.
I feel like Troon in this moment also showing a bit of that character of he realizes that they are very different, and he's trying not to be this scary
horror
thing.
Monster, yeah. Which he is. He just is naturally. It's the way he was made. It's who Troon, or his original owner was. Owner is the wrong word. His original host.
Yeah, his original connection. I feel like with Troon, it's be as scary as you can be so you can prevent killing.
Yeah. But if you have to do it, you're accepted to. And Hannah would then have to be okay with Troon killing. That's what's happening here. And that's why he's scared for her, because he doesn't want her to undergo it again. Mm-hmm. Hannah did it in such a gruesome and terrible way. But Hannah's fine. It's all fine, though, because in the end, we have, can we discuss a plan before we do anything rash? And then where to go to figure out the plan. So the last plan will be formed in the next chapter and executed in the next chapter. And the book will be done in the next chapter. Well, not to your liking, I'm sure, but oh well. The story's not over. Just the book.
Just this section of everything.
This part of the story is written. The rest of it's there. I just got to go write it.
But we'll be focusing on another book
Yes.
after this. So.
Which I think at the end of the next chapter, maybe we do another video describing the next book as a teaser kind of thing.
We could, yeah.
Because I've got a lot of stuff for it, and I have a map, I have a magic system, a whole bunch of complicated things that if you had beforehand, you could like look at and be interested in, and then you'll hear a story involving these things, and it will be hopefully a little more interactive and fun. My goal is to make the next book stand out a little heavier than this one.
Well, this one was written because you were trying to do a specific genre.
No, this one was written because I wanted to write a book.
No, this particular story was written not because you wanted to write a book. Yeah, you were going to write a book. But
and because we never had children, and in a lot of ways, these are our children.
But you were picking this as a specific genre. And so this one is not near and dear to your heart as much as far as the
not
story
not
goes.
In the story for sure, but in the characters 100%.
In the characters.
I care about these 4 kids way more than I care about Nathaniel or the boy or Sloane or Tresca.
But the other story.
I leave Draylin out on purpose because Draylin is actually closer to me than all these.
Yes.
He's very close to me.
So yeah, the next story will probably be a lot more in depth and probably a lot more polished. It's just
a lot bigger too.
It is a lot bigger.
It's already 23 chapters.
Yes.
So we got 23 days of content after this book is put out.
Yes.
Look forward to that. You can hear the whole book unstopped, uninterrupted, all at once with both of us doing the voice acting. We're trying to.
And that video will be edited.
Yes, I will be editing the heck out of that video.
Because we want it to sound good and
all together.
And all together.
No interruptions, no misunderstandings.
No giggling.
It'll hopefully sound like an audiobook.
Yes.
That's the goal. Or an audio drama at the very least.
Hey.
What?
Guess what time it is?
It's recap time! And a white screen. There's your white screen for you. Gotta have one of those every single time. This isn't months. I forgot what we named this now.
We did not name it.
Oh. You know what? I'm going to leave this one open. I want to hear a comment about this one.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to comment, there's 3 or 4 people that listen to this.
Chapter 23.
We want to hear it. Specifically, Shemari Reborn. Thank you for your patronage. Chapter 23, which I'm going to leave nameless.
Starts with a realization, a dark realization.
Oh, yeah. And then some rest, hopefully.
Potato cravings. He's going to make me a potato of some kind when we're done. I would be even okay with those potatoes with ketchup on it. Oh,
Potato, the ones that got baked.
Yeah,
I could do that.
It
takes a while. Though.
I just want potatoes and ketchup right now. You peel the potatoes, quarter them, put them in some water, put a little chicken stock in there, let it boil till it's soft, kind of like mashed potatoes, but not quite there. And then you take them out, shake up the pan, or drain the pan, shake up the pan, kind of let it break up, then put it into a oven pan, and I'm gonna coat it and stuff, and then put it in the oven and cook it until it's crispy. Probably 6 hours. Not 6 hours.
Anyway, the potato cravings pass. Still no answer.
Hoping for a better answer than Hannah.
Hoping for a better answer.
Yeah, hoping for a better answer is better.
Maybe a better answer.
Yeah. Hoping for a better answer and maybe a better answer.
Because we don't know the answer yet, but maybe there's something there. So that's where we'll leave it. Chapter 24 is the last one. So please comment what you think the title of the chapter should be. I would really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for listening.
Have a good day.
We love you. Like, comment, subscribe, that good stuff.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.